My name is Tanya Birl-Torres, and I am a Critical Breaks artist in residence.
My name is Sasha Hutchings, and I am a Critical Breaks artist in residence.
We are a collective and have come together as writer, co-makers, and also Sasha directing. But what we have in common is movement, and SoHumanity comes from the root word SoHum, which in Sanskrit means I am that I am. It's the umbrella that covers all of my artistic endeavors, and this is kind of us coming together for this project and for this play. And so SoHumanity really is an incubation space, a container, and I think what we do and what we do well is we create space.
Yeah.
And we protect space, and we honor the creative space.
I would say too, this SoHum and what it comes out of, it feels like a very healing and grounding space, and and then what creative comes out of that.
Yep.
That takes us into a play in 3 movements and this piece that you have written, this download that you have given us, and how we're getting into process with a play in 3 movements, which is absolutely through creating space to play and creating space to discover. The goals or the questions of our process are, can movement heal? How does movement heal? How does healing and transformation become embodied? And how does that translate into choreography and movement? But everything is absolutely rooted in play. Yes. You've created 4 different characters. You want to talk about the characters?
Yeah, I love these characters so much. I've been living with these characters. So yes, Girl is the generation, she's the first, her generation is the first of the last of the slaves, is how we have described her. And the Trinity consists of mother, who again is universal. So it's present mother, it's everyone's mother. Everyone has a story about mother and their mother. Everyone came from a womb. And then there's Sojourner Truth, and it's her story as a mother. So we all know the strength and the ain't I a woman and the abolitionist and the preacher, but there's this soft side of these choices that she had to make as a mother, and we explore that story. And then there's Sirach Bat Asher, who's of Hebrew Midrash, and so she's born of the radical imagination, as we say, and she's been around for every story. So all these patriarchal stories of the Bible, and I kept doing this thing, the whole process of like, we are clearing the white male God. White male God, goodbye. And when you start to clear it away, Sirach is who's there and has always been there. And she is reclaiming these stories, retelling these stories. And again, it's not about just throwing the baby out with the bathwater. There are universal perennial truths in scripture. Scripture is another technology. Yeah. And so we're finding the technology of scripture through her storytelling.
The technology of reflecting ourselves back to ourselves, and these things that have, and what the relationship between these women, like all mothers, and I talk about it as the act of mothering, whatever that spirit is, because everybody mothers and everyone has been mothered in some form or fashion, physically, but also spiritually and emotionally. And so we have a character that embodies that action. And then these women interact intergenerationally. Like there's something about like a new mother versus maybe an older, more experienced mother, or a first-time mother versus like a mother of many or the mother of all, and how those things sort of sweep through. But there is, and then the other final thing we can say about the generations is the idea of passing down. Yes. The genes that get passed down, the stories that get passed down, the technology that gets passed down, the instruments that get passed down,
the trauma that gets
passed down, and what it means to try to pull from these things to heal and to move forward into that next generation. There's a very much and then what it means to remember things and pull them back into the front, and then to remember and then maybe push aside. So there's a lot of just pulling, going back and remembering, trying to recall, and then moving forward, asking questions about the future.